You feel you need to start cooking to help yourself with your weight loss so you can be able to stop yourself from overeating when you go out to eat or you buy too much of the junk you shouldn't have. But if you don't cook correctly, you could be doing the same thing of just going out eating and eating excess calories. It's important you understand how to properly structure your meals by cooking the right way in order for yourself to lose weight. Remember, to lose weight, you gotta get into what? A calorie deficit. In order to get to calorie deficit, you gotta make sure that you're taking in less and burning more. So if you're not doing the right thing with your cooking, you're adding extra calories that you're not seeing. And these are the hidden calories that often come up when you step on the scale and you see the weight not go down. Let's make sure we're doing it the right way. I'm Leek with Ultimate Performance, and in this video, I will help you understand the 3 biggest cooking mistakes you need to avoid on your weight loss journey so you can reach your weight loss goals. I've helped hundreds of clients in my 11 years of coaching, and I want to see you get the results the same way as my clients. So be sure to like and subscribe. Now, cooking, I think, is very important for yourself if you want to be able to be sustainable with your weight loss. Because eventually, you may struggle if you're always eating out. Now, I've talked about that in the past about eating out, and we'll leave that to another video. But when we're focusing on cooking, you want to make sure that you're doing the right way that's going to meet your weight loss goal. But there's things you have to avoid that you're not doing because you need to do it the right way. Doing it the right way is going to get you to what? A calorie deficit, allow you to still enjoy food how you've been enjoying food, but now you're creating healthy eating habits. So we're going to go into those 3 biggest mistakes you need to avoid when you are trying to lose weight. Now, let's start with the first one, and this one is a big one, and that's adding excess things to your meals that you don't need. Now, I understand adding things for flavor and taste, because food is meant to be enjoyed. If you're eating, you don't enjoy your food, it doesn't taste good, it's not gonna be sustainable for yourself. But if you're always adding too much of those extra things that you can quickly substitute for better choices that are gonna help you. And let's start off with one that's common here, and that's like butter. Now, butter, there's a lot of talk about the cholesterol and the excess fat and all the other stuff. We're gonna keep it as simple as just the calories parts here. So I see this often. People add so much butter into their food because it tastes good, but it's a lot of extra calories you don't need to have. So I understand putting things in and the flavor, and it doesn't just stop at butter. You have those different sauces, all the other excess things that you put in your cooking that you don't need, the heavy fats that you put in as far as the oils. You can easily substitute that for cooking spray or water, so you're not adding extra calories you don't need. Yes, butter will make some things taste good, but if you're putting too much of it, like you're putting half a stick of butter, maybe put just a very little bit in there, that's fine, but adding excess that you don't need. So if you start by slowly cutting down how much you're putting into your food, you will see the difference on the scale because you're not adding extra into it. So think about it, if you're cooking multiple meals, you're eating 7 days a week, you could be adding extra 200 to 500 calories in just what you're doing with cooking because you're not aware of that. That can lead to a half to full pound a week that you're losing now that you're switching to better alternatives like cooking spray. And it's very simple that you can put in there because we think we're so used to putting these extra things in that we don't need. I will talk about that in the next part here as well to make sure you're still understanding how to put the flavor into your meals, but cut down on putting those extra things you don't need within the cooking and slightly reducing it if you're putting way too much. So I know I talked about butter here because I have a stick of butter here, but that's anything we're talking about. The cheeses as well, the sauces. Cut that stuff down or look for other alternatives that you can do that still allows you to have your food taste flavorful and that works for you to be in a deficit, but let's reduce the extra calories we don't need in our meals when we're cooking. Because why are you cooking? You're looking for a sustainable alternative to what you've been doing, if that's always eating out. Now you're trying to cook your meals to prepare and have what you understand is going to be a better choice for you. So let's reduce on the extra stuff you're adding into your meals. Be aware what you're doing. And this is gonna lead to the next one that's important, is being able to understand how to measure your food. This is key. A lot of recipes you've been doing, if it's been handed to you from other family members, or you maybe learned it over time of looking online, and you may gotten a habit where you're not measuring as much, so you're not really aware how much a real serving is. You have to really understand what the right servings are to the different things you're doing within cooking, because our plate size has dramatically increased over time. So we're overeating on how much food that we are putting with things that we're not aware of. I talk about you do need to eat more, but if you're still eating in excess, it's not going to be the right thing. So you really do have to measure your food, understand what things are. So when it comes to things like measuring what a cup of rice is, when you're doing your different proteins, having a food scale, putting how many ounces, so you're understanding how much you're really putting in. Also understanding when you're measuring that things are going to be different before you cook it. So remember, pre-cooked, where the food is at, is going to be different once you cook it. Also remember that it's going to change as you're cooking the food. So if you forget about that, you may either not give yourself enough calories, or you may be putting too much, which is usually the latter, where you're putting too much. So be able to understand how to measure, and then you'll start learning, wow, this is how much I'm actually putting into my meals. And you'll start learning how to eat the right way and not overeat, which is key. That's the big thing. The reason you're heavier, you have lack of energy, is because you're eating too much of the wrong things, but you're also overall just overeating. So you need to understand, as you change your cooking, start to measure things. Help yourself understand what you're actually putting into your body with the quantity side, because that's what it adds up to at the end of the day. You gotta understand that when you're cooking, because over time, when we're not conscious, we're not really aware of how much true servings are within what we're doing in cooking. So have different things as your measuring cups, measuring your tablespoons, having a food scale, very important. And as I talked about, knowing the difference from pre-cooked to cooked, this will make a big difference in your calories. You want to be able to do this not just for the short term, you got to do it for the long term, which leads into the next point as well, is stop cooking bland. Bland is not going to work, because if you're used to eating out or having these recipes that are very fattening, you're used to a certain taste within your eating. It's hitting your taste with a certain way. Remember, food is an experience, and our food is an experience. If it was just as easy as not being experienced, we all would be at our ideal weight, because we wouldn't think about those things that we love or our different recipes we're used to. So don't try to go bland when you're going restrictive. And that's why we don't want to have restrictive diets. We still want to have tasteful diets and things that allow us to have sustainability. Remember, this is a lifestyle, not for the short term. You're so used to doing things just to quickly lose weight, but you're not building habits for the lifestyle. So we want to start changing our lifestyle around the cooking, but understand, don't be bland. You can put flavor to it. Eating healthy can still taste damn good if you understand what you're doing. So don't go bland where you're not putting any flavor into what you're eating. You still need to put flavor into your eating. Even recipes that you may have done in the past, don't completely cut out whole ingredients. Look for other things that can work really well. When I'm cooking, different seasonings I have, these are things that are important to me. When I'm putting on my different proteins, I want to have flavor to it. I'm a type of person where I don't have to add so much in it, but I still have the flavor. I don't want to eat something that doesn't taste good because it's not sustainable. You know, the reason why I can do this over the time, and I've helped my clients as well, because they're understanding these things. So with your cooking, don't go bland, don't go restrictive where you're just like, I'm not gonna have any flavor to my food. It's meant to taste bad, and you just get used to it for that period of time. But what happens after? Remember, sustainability is gonna allow you to not only do what? Reach your weight loss goals, but keep it off. Remember, the biggest thing that people struggle from is not losing weight, but keeping it off. More than 90% of people within a successful weight loss transformation within 2 years gains more weight than they originally lost. So when you think of it that way, you need to understand, I have to build on this. I have to allow myself to eat the way that is going to work for me. So not only can I reach my goals, but I continue to build goals and have everything I want in my lifestyle, right? Having the energy, having the confidence in yourself, performing at the levels you need for yourself to be the leader you need for your family, your business, and everyone around as well. Understand that is very important. So do not cook bland, put flavor in what you're doing, you're eating. You can use different marinades. Just make sure, as I talked about in the first one, you're not adding too much extra, but we want to still make it taste good. So to recap, remember, stop adding all the extra things you don't need. You don't need a whole stick of butter. You don't need all this extra cheese, all these extra sauces. Keep it, reduce it, use other different things for flavor. You can be able to still eat great without adding all those extra things. Remember, also measure food. Understand what true servings are so you understand when you're putting your meals together that you're not overeating. You're being more conscious. That helps you as well, because when you're eating, you understand how much is going into it. So it helps you understand that as well. You're putting it all together. That is very important. Last what I talked about, don't go bland. Still put the flavor in your meals. It can still taste good to eat healthy. If you're cooking the right way, you will learn how to put the right flavor into your food and help yourself. So let me know what you got from this. Have you had some of these mistakes in the past with your cooking, or how's it going with what you're doing with your cooking? Have you found some other things that work that you think I should have put in this video? Let me know. And as always, be sure to like and subscribe and watch the next video.